Taylor has a lot of room to grow and could be a starting quarterback in the NFL for the long term. I don't think that. What I'm telling you is that the Buffalo Bills gave that man that bootleg contract so that they could get out of it easily if they wanted to, and I think that's where they're kind of leaning towards. I'm not co-signing nothing. Matter of fact, I think it'd be stupid for Buffalo to let Tyrod Taylor go. But every article you read, and it might just be press, it might just be propaganda, rhetoric, or whatever. Every article you read, the Buffalo Bills aren't going to give that man or sign him or take the extension, the option on his deal to bring him back. Now, I think Tyrod Taylor will get a job somewhere real quick. I mean, he's a good player. He's a starting quarterback in the NFL. And I just think that a player like that, or a dual threat quarterback like that, man, just needs times to adapt to his receivers, to the offense, and given time to get better like every other NFL quarterback gets. That's a drop-back quarterback. That's a traditional quarterback. Such is not the case for that style quarterback. For Corey, Mr. Broncos Talk, what did Doug say? Oh, and talking about the Denver Broncos and, possible landing spot for Tony Romo. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to give Paxton Lynch the keys to the car and see what he can do. I think that's what they're going to do with going into this year, this new year, which just ended, so it's a long time away. We just like talking football around here. From Gary G. Money Joyner, T-Dub, it's whitewashing, that's what it is, but you just don't get it, though. From Big L, X-Squad, give Ray Rice a chance, Patriots. Ray Rice is probably done. I'm shocked Ray Rice didn't get a call this year. After the trade deadline, midpoint of the season when injuries occurred, I thought somebody else, and Ray Rice is going a long way to show, that he's sorry and he was remorseful for what happened when he hit his old lady, but it doesn't matter. A lot of cats like that, man, especially that look like Ray Rice, don't get second chances. Trust me, I know. From T-Dub, right 504, sisters kill me with that ish about black men lack self-esteem because we date other races. All right, damn. Here y'all go. Y'all still in that damn conversation. From WoD504, just because someone chooses to like white women doesn't mean they self-hate or hate black women. That's silly logic. No, I don't agree that's the case every single time. I don't agree with that. Who said that? From Gilliard Road's Finest, Jaguars looking to open the quarterback challenge for Blake Bortles. They're looking for a proven veteran. They have deep pockets to give. Here's the thing about the Tony Romo conversation as well. If Romo is to come into a place like Jacksonville and they want to open up the quarterback competition to get the incumbent starter, in this case Blake Bortles, put a little fire under his ass, like this guy is going to take your job if you don't get your ish together. Like, Tony Romo has to play preseason games. And I'm not hating on Tony Romo. I think Tony Romo is drastically overrated. I am not hating on Tony Romo. I don't want to see this man get hurt. But if Tony Romo plays a preseason game, he will not make it through. I really believe that. I really do believe that. From Al Thompson, Tyrod Taylor coming to the Browns, possibly. I've read some stuff about that. From Sidney Jackson, Romo might be an upgrade, but you can't expect him to be there the whole season. Right. Now, let's be clear about that. Like, Tony Romo, throwing the football offensively, can put up a lot of points. On the same hand, Tony Romo can lose your ass a game quickly as well. But, yeah, he's probably one of the 32 best quarterbacks in the world if he's on the field. Yeah, I would say, average to second half to back half of the league as far as quarterbacks, because I just don't want a quarterback that's going to lose games for me. But, yeah, in relative terms to everybody else, there's a lot of average and below average quarterbacks in the league. Yeah, he's probably an upgrade to a lot of teams. But he's not going to play. I really believe that. He is not going to finish a season. He's not going to finish a game. He's just not. Quickly, one other thing dealing with Dallas that I wanted to mention earlier, and I didn't get a chance to do it, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, is former Texas A&M defensive end Myles Garrett, projected to be the number 1 overall pick in this year's NFL draft, says he won't be attending the event. He says, I'm staying at home. He told the Houston Chronicle. He told a newspaper he wants to experience the moment of being drafted with his family and friends in Arlington, Texas. He's projected once again to be the number 1 pick in the draft. The draft will be held April 27th through 29th. He compiled 32.5 sacks and 48.5 tackles for loss over the past 3 seasons for Texas A&M. 6'5", 270-pound prospect had 8.5 sacks in 2016. They said he had an ankle injury the whole year. That's why he wasn't that productive, but really translates into upper-tier defensive end. One other thing with this Myles Garrett kid, on a video that he did, I guess maybe on Instagram or something like that, he begged and pleaded, and this video was actually done earlier in the season. It wasn't since the season had been concluded. But he begged and pleaded for Jerry Jones to trade up. He's feeling very sure about himself. He feels like he's going to be the first pick in the draft. He asked for Jerry Jones to trade up so that the Dallas Cowboys could take him number 1. That's very presumptive of you, sir. Yeah, so evidently he's from Texas, Texas kid, grew up probably rooting for the Dallas Cowboys and wants to be a Cowboy, hopefully, very soon here. That's probably not going to happen. And Dallas got some nice defensive ends as well. I don't know about Randy Gregory or whatever, but the Irving kid, the other kid that they had on the other end that kind of showed out late in the season, man, I don't think defensive end is a priority. And it might be because Randy Gregory might not play. He might be done. I can't even remember how long the suspension that he's on. Might be the whole season. So maybe it's a possibility, but I don't think Jerry Jones is going to do anything like that. So we'll definitely keep our eyes on that. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. From the 47 problem, Tiffany Poodle, who done piss you off? Laugh out loud. Oh, man, Tiffany Poodle in Portland still in here. Man, they're having a real deep conversation. That conversation might even be a little too deep for the Doug Stewart Show. No, it's not. No, the hell it ain't. Tiffany Poole says, I don't care if you agree or not. Number 1, wasn't speaking to you. Number 2, wasn't speaking about you. Number 3, you don't speak for me. I speak for myself. I'm enlightened. I am self-aware. If you are unaware, unenlightened, then you think you are right on this subject, and you are not. That's not my opinion. That's fact. Beyond the Pale Horse, read it. Hidden Colors, watch it. The autobiography of Malcolm X, digest it. Yes, sir. A very deep conversation in the chat room on Spreaker.com from the 47th problem, talking about relationships, interracial relationships, it looks like. From the 47 problem, this is what happens when football season is over. This is what happens. Love me some Tiffany Poole in Portland, so it's all good. From the 47 problem, love is love. It's a rare thing if you can find a woman or man that is willing to be on your team and support you. If he or she is white and you are black, then that is even rarer, but it can happen. I may even rub some people the wrong way, especially given that blacks have been stepped on by whites for longer than we'd like to remember. Yeah, very, very sticky subject. From Andre Elam Sluggo, that was powerful words there, brother. From Clay Cold-Blooded Davis, can people get over this race-ish, love who you love, screw who you screw who? Let's see. What do we got here? You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. From Clay Cold-Blooded Davis, from Gary G. Money Joyner. Look at what happened to Mixon. Dating white didn't help him at all. Yeah, y'all getting a little deep in here, man. That's a little heavy for the Doug Stewart Show, man. Y'all getting a little heavy. From Grego X Squad in the chat room, what if a black man likes Latin women or Asian women? What does that make him? Or Indian women or Jamaican women or any other woman besides a black woman? I would like to hear your thoughts. From Chuchi, Jamaican women aren't black women? Question mark. He's asking as a question. From Clay Cold-Blooded Davis, Gregor Freeman is not going anywhere. Now, he will miss training camp over his contract, though. From T-Dub, you don't know what whitewash means. Suppose my mom is white. Wow, they really getting deep in the chat room. Let me grab a call. Caller, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name? Where you calling from? What you want to talk about?
Doug Stewart, what it do? John Fisher in the building, baby.
John Fisher in the building. What's up, baby?
What's going on, man? My bad about that Oakley stuff earlier. I was 50% right. I'll take 50%. But real quick, Doug, we were talking a couple weeks ago. You was asking about that old school New York fighting style. It's called 52.
Right. That's what it's called. Exactly. Yeah, so you know how to do it?
Yeah, you slap your elbow, put one hand underneath your arm, put the other one over by your ear. You know what I'm saying? Slapping back and forth. It almost looks like you're doing some kind of step routine, but it's actually fighting. Right.
Yeah. There's a lot of video. 52 blocks is what it's called. Yeah, crazy.
Yes, sir. Yes,
hey,
sir.
hey, John, while I got you on the phone, man, and we were talking earlier about your New York Knicks and the fact that these old players came and hung out with James Dolan. And the conversation about Charles Oakley or whatever, man. What are your thoughts about the organization, the franchise, man, this year, and where they're at in the Eastern Conference, man, and their prospects going forward? I'd like to hear it from a New York Knicks fan.
Well, first of all, I'm a Lakers fan, but first of all, they are.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, between Dolan and Phil Jackson, man, the Knicks are just an abomination. And you figure you got somebody like Oakley getting ejected from games, and then the New York Knicks come out and say, what Dolan say? Oh, well, he got a lifetime ban until he gets help for alcoholism. Like, where does that come from? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's just, all it is a PR stunt, and Dolan want to make himself look good, but he's really making the Knicks look bad. And moving forward, they're going to have a hard time getting free agents, man.
Yeah, definitely. So while I got you on the call, and I did forget that you were actually a Laker fan. How did that work out? You from New York. How did you become a Laker fan and not a New York Knicks fan? Did you just have more common sense to your little friends?
Well, the funny thing about it is almost like Bomani Jones. The Knicks currently, they always broke my heart going up against the Bulls all the time.
Right.
But once Jordan was gone and Patrick Ewing missed that finger roll against Indiana, I traded my jersey in. And Nick Van Exel was my favorite player back then, so I just rooted for the Lakers because he was there, and I just stuck with the Lakers ever since.
That's what's up. Oh man, thank you, John. Patty cake, microwave. Now that makes sense. And his reasoning is kind of like Bomani Jones. We talked about it a lot last week about what happened in the game last Sunday night. Bomani says that the Atlanta sports teams have broken his heart so many times that he just had to move on. It was too much stress on his heart, on his being. And, yeah, so that makes sense. John Fisher from New York City, probably raised up being a New York Knicks fan. But, he's of the age. He doesn't remember the championships in the early 70s. He don't remember Phil Jackson and Clyde Frazier and all of those cats. He don't remember, Willis Reed. He doesn't remember all of that. All he remembered was getting his brains beat in year in and year out by Michael Jordan and the Bulls. That's all he remembers. All he remembers is John Starks losing the dribble and Patrick Ewing missing a layup and, Latrell Sprewell choking the coach out. So he had to move on. Yeah, so it's kind of like a reenactment of that whole thing with Suge Knight when he was on the stage at the BET Awards. So if you're sick and tired of your team breaking your heart every year, come on over to the Lakers.
When Tupac was around,
dancing in the videos.
But
yes, sir.
I think it's only right for me to raise a nation of bruh.
Yes, sir.
Frank Coleman, Ernest Justice.
Yeah. Yeah. You sick and tired of your team lose.